Hello everyone, this is Vrushali and welcome back to my YouTube channel CS and IT Tutorials by Vrushali. In our previous some sessions, we have discussed about all the important topics of database with real life examples and practical demonstrations. In our previous sessions, we have discussed about centralized and client server architecture. I have mentioned a complete database management system subject playlist link in below description box. Now, in today's session, we will discuss the next important topic, that is parallel database architecture. As per your exam point of view, this is one of the most important topic. Let's start the session. Here, in this session, we will discuss first what exactly parallel database architecture, and there are different types like shared memory architecture, shared disk architecture, shared nothing architecture with examples. At the end, we will discuss some important question bank. Now, the first point is what exactly parallel database architecture. So here, the name suggests that parallel means multiple processors and multiple storage devices are working together parallelly, which is called as parallel database architecture. This architecture improves speed, scalability, and performance of large database. And as per the result, they provide faster and more efficient performance. So there are total three types of parallel database architecture, like shared memory, shared disk, and shared nothing architecture. Every architecture is used as per the requirement of project. So let's see one by one. Now, the first one is a shared memory architecture. See here in this diagram. Here, there are multiple processors are there, right? And all these processors share the same memory, that is global memory, or we can say RAM, that is random access memory. So they share the same memory through intercommunication channel. So this is called as shared memory architecture. Means multiple processors used same memory for performing different operations. Let's take an example. Nowadays, different modern laptops, they have quad-core CPU, octa-core CPU, right? Suppose a particular laptop, they have 4-core CPU. So assume that there are total 4 brains of system, right? Suppose you want to edit a particular video. So one core might handle the visuals of your video, another core handle the sound of your video, and again another core compressing the output of your video, right? Means multiple cores are working together on same system. So they access the same video file, same audio file, and stored all this video, all this information on the same memory, right? Means multiple processor use the same memory to working purpose. So this is called as shared memory architecture. Now, let's see advantages and disadvantages of shared memory architecture. The main advantages is they perform faster communication between processors because all processors are working together on same file. It is very easy to manage and update. Efficient memory usage is there because everyone used the same memory, common memory, that is RAM memory, right? And it is very good for multi-core systems. Nowadays in market there is a quad-core, octa-core systems, right? So everyone use the multi-core system architectures. Now on the another side, there are some disadvantages. So the shared memory architecture is not scalable for very large system. Means you can't add 1,000 or more than 1,000 processors in same architecture, right? Suppose your memory is corrupted, then all the processors are affected, right? Because every processor shared the same memory. And to prevent all these conflicts, developer used all log, semaphore, and other tools for reducing the conflict and corruption in memory, right? So this is called as shared memory architecture. Now, the next one is a shared disk architecture. See here in this image, there is a multiple processors are there, and now here every processor, they have their own memory, right? In our previous architecture, processor shared the same memory, but here every processor, they have their own memory for operation. But here, all these processors shared the same disk, which is also called as secondary storage through intercommunication network. So this is called as shared disk architecture. Here processor having their own memory, but processor shared the same disk. Let's take an example. The best example is Oracle Real Application Clusters, that is also called as RAC in DBMS. Here, in this RAC, they allow multiple servers work together and they share the same disk or same storage. Here, one processor get fail, still other continue running because they have their own memory for operations, right? Let's see some examples. Like in banking system, multiple people do online transactions at the same time, right? Means multiple core, multiple processors are there to handle this performance. Again, in e-commerce system, for example, in Flipkart, Amazon, Myntra, there are suppose Diwali festivals, Diwali offers are there, New Year offers are there. So there was a higher traffic for doing shopping, right? So this e-commerce system used this RAC for handling multiple requests and multiple responses. Next one, again, healthcare system. To access a particular patient record 24/7. So for that purpose, again use multiple processors. If one processor get fail, still another processor showing the patient records. Again, in airline system, for real-time booking purpose, check-in system purpose. Again, in telecommunication industry, for mobile billing, mobile recharge, right? Multiple people's doing mobile recharge at the same time. That's why multiple servers, multiple processes are there for performing this all features and this all specifications, right? So this is called as shared disk architecture. Now, there are different advantages and disadvantages of this. The main advantages of shared disk architecture is one processor get fail, still other processors working appropriately. They also good load balancing concept is there. They distribute every work properly to each and every processors. And they stored all this data on same storage devices. Next, disadvantages. To adding one or more processors in this intercommunication network, they slow down the existing one, right? Also, for avoiding data conflicts, because multiple processors use the same disk, same storage. So to avoid data conflict purpose, they use different algorithm and different tools. That's why sometimes it is very complex to set up and maintenance. So this is called as shared disk architecture. Now, the next one is called as shared nothing architecture. The name suggests that nothing means every processor, they have their own memory and own disk. They didn't share anything with another processor. This is called as shared nothing architecture. Every processor work independently and they manage their own data, right? Suppose this processor want to communicate with this processor. So this processor wants send message to this intercommunication network and this message goes to this processor too. In this way, shared nothing architecture is used. So nowadays, in this latest technologies, shared nothing architecture mostly used. Let's take an example of Google searching system. Suppose you want to search something on Google, you get the result within a second, right? So at the same time, multiple people's doing searching on Google, right? So Google use thousands of servers and every server they have their own memory, storage and CPU. That's why every work perform more efficiently and accurately. Another example is Apache Hadoop. So Hadoop is a one kind of system. They analyze huge amount of data, almost 1000 GB or more data. So to analyze huge amount of data, to divide data as per the features and to store this data. So for all this processing purpose, they use shared nothing architecture. Multiple servers are there and all these servers processors working together parallelly, right? Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of this? The main advantages is great scalability. You can add as many as processors in intercommunication network. Also, there is a no any traffic jam, no any point of failure, because every processor they have their own memory and disk. Intercommunication network mainly used for communication purpose between different processors. Also, shared nothing architecture, they have a high fault tolerance rate. One server is failed, another keep working, right? Again, what are the disadvantages of this? The main thing is complex data management. Means there is a huge amount of data. So how to divide data, how to split data, and again how to join this data. So this is some complex data management is there. And to handle all the failures, they require the special logic, special algorithms are there. So this is called as shared nothing architecture. Now, the most important question is which one is better, right? So let's understand. Suppose there are some small and real-time systems like robotic system, signal processing systems, or a real-time operating system. So for that purpose, shared memory architecture is used, which is very fast and simple. Suppose there are some high availability system like a clustered file system, then multiple hypervisors are there like VMware, or real-time trending or financial systems are there. So for that purpose, shared disk architecture is used because they support failure rate and data consistency. Next, suppose there is a large scale and distributed system like Google Big Table. They use Gmail servers, Google Maps server is there. Then again Apache Hadoop, Apache Cassandra, Apache Kafka, Kubernetes. So for all this latest system purpose, shared nothing architecture is used because this is a highly scalable, fault tolerant and cost efficient. So as per your project requirement, you can select this architecture. Now, as per your previous year question paper, these questions asked repeatedly and mostly, right? Like categorize different parallel database architecture, conclude which of them is better for 6 marks. List and explain any one architecture of parallel database with neat diagram. Means you have to prepare every diagram properly for 6 marks. Then state and explain key elements of parallel database for 4 marks. So basically you have to prepare all this topic completely. So this is all about parallel database architecture. Thank you. Keep learning.